do that, but that's not reviews, you know, I mean, that's direct to you guys. The museum speaker was commissioned by the Guggenheim Museum of Art. It was in the museum last year. Then we refined it, and it is now this newest OMA loudspeaker product, a 5-way, semi-active speaker. I know you'll be wondering. If you want to know, I'll explain, but I just want to get through this and play it on the record. Special K amplifier, triode connected, KT88s. PD2 phono stage, that's new. This rack system, which is available in different lengths. The beams are cast iron. It's all cast iron, except for the shelves, which can be whatever you want. Here it's Pennsylvania ash. And the K3 turntable, which took us 7 years. And you know, this is an order of magnitude more advanced than any turntable for ever, actually. Direct drive, of course. 90% of turntables are belt driven, but we don't do belt drive. So, does anybody have any questions before I throw another record on?
Some details on the speaker, please.
Sorry?
Some details on your speaker, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The museum speaker is made out of 1-inch thick, torrefied Pennsylvania ash. Torrefaction is this process of cooking the wood. It's actually put into a chamber and brought to a temperature at which it would catch fire. So it goes past what's called a pyrolyzation temperature, but there's no oxygen in the chamber. So it can't catch fire. What happens is that the organic molecules inside the wood cell structure, they literally start to, you know, become charcoal. And they carbonize, and that's basically aging wood. So, you know, this is sort of the equivalent of 100-year-old wood, which means it's much more stable and it's tonally better. This is why all the guitar companies, Martin Guitar, Bourgeois, Fender, they're all doing this because they're able to create vintage guitars that are newly made. And that's what everyone wants, like a 100-year-old Martin guitar. So we're making this out of 1-inch thick, solid, torrefied, we only use Pennsylvania hardwoods, which are sustainably grown and harvested, nothing from the Amazon, or, you know, some poor third world country where, you know, they get raped. It's just Pennsylvania wood. It's all made in Pennsylvania. It's a 5-way speaker with twin 15s. Something, again, you know, you don't see, you know why you don't see 15s in any of these speakers out there? Anybody know? Because the whole idea with all these speakers is to create the narrowest possible speaker. So 15 doesn't work because then the front has to be 15 inches wide. They don't want that, you know, because they want a narrow speaker. Why do you want a narrow speaker? It's the worst thing you can do is to have a narrow front baffle on a speaker. So why would you do that? What they do is, instead of having a 15, they have a whole bunch of small woofers. Why? Well, there's this acronym in hi-fi, you know, retail, which is called WAF. In English, WAF. It's Wife Acceptance Factor. It's the reality that with these ugly things, the wife comes in with the husband, and the husband wants to buy something as big as possible, and the wife's like, no fucking way are you getting that in my living room. I want.
She's different.
We put it.
I have
lucky.
I have a good one.
Yeah, you know, great. I mean, amazing. And she's laughing too. I love this. But you know, my wives love OMA and Fleetwood sound. Because they go like, honey, can we have those speakers? Because those look nice. I want to. I mean, look, if you're spending all this money, you have a big speaker in your living. It's not playing, unless it's in your man cave, which I think is totally uncool. It's not playing, you know, you better like looking at it. But, you know, these speakers are designed so that they disappear, right? Because they're narrow. So we just threw out the door all the acoustic engineering experience of the whole, you know, 20th century in favor of this compromise. It's not even a compromise. I mean, it's just a horrible decision. It's so cynical, too. And then marketing it, I mean, I was at a demo across the way, I won't say who, And they were bragging about the boominess of their, listen to how much it booms. Like calling attention to a defect changes it from a defect to a attribute. Anyway, who asked me? I bet you. Matt, you're going like, what was the question? I wish I hadn't asked that question. Because we could be listening to music by now. 215s, they're both active because it's a sealed box. We wanted to keep ultra high efficiency. Conical horn is powered by is passively engaged and has a coaxial compression driver, which is new. We only use professional drivers. It's another huge difference, right, between us and everything else out there, because we use the same drivers that you would find in concert halls. Right? They're ultra high efficiency, ultra low distortion, and they cost a lot more money. They have very little excursion, and compression drivers. Nobody uses compression drivers, old dumb tweeters, and you can't play them loud because they break up. So the compression driver is a two-way. The tweeter and the mid-range diaphragm, all in this one horn. And then there's a super tweeter hidden in there. Okay.
Just a question. Why are your horns with these facades instead of being round horns?
So they're wood, right? And everyone else is plastic, pretty much. Notice that? There's like German horn, they're all plastic. They're all these spherical horns. These are conical horns. And they're made out of solid Pennsylvania hardwood like the rest of our speaker. Now, I mean, do you know any people who play instruments that are plastic? Plastic guitar, plastic violin, plastic double bass. No, it's all wood, right? So, wood sounds good. Plastic doesn't sound good. So if you want to make this out of wood, this is how you make it. You segment it. People say, oh, your horns look retro because they have these segments. The Victrola horns, right, from 100 years ago, they were all segmented because that's the easiest way to make this. In design and manufacturing, what you want to do is you want to find the best way to make something, which is the easiest, the most intelligent, the most economical. So that is the best. That's the only way to do it.
But you also build them round, though.
We make round ones, and okay, this is oval. This is the new.
That was his question, though.
Okay, so I misunderstood the question. Yeah. That's a good one, because this profile Bill came up with, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years ago. We launched. The Monarch was the first one to get this shape horn. This we could patent that, but I'm never going to patent anything because the easiest way to get ripped off is file a patent. Google automatically throws it out there, and all of your trade craft and secrets you have to put up on a patent. Meanwhile, people in China or wherever, they're like, great. We don't obey any kind of copyright. We'll just rip that off. So I don't patent anything. But we could patent that. No one's ever made a horn like that. And that has the best measured behavior on axis and off axis of anything we've ever seen. So, I mean, basically what we're doing is we're taking things that were designed, these drivers designed for professional use, where you're trying to get very high SPLs, very, very high SPLs, to tens of thousands of people, maybe in an audience, and they're like all over. So you have to spray this. We're not doing that. At most, it's a room twice this size with a couple hundred people, and all of our horns can do that. We're optimizing the sound for like you in your living room or all of you at this show. God, that does sound good.